Hi Aries, welcome to your 2022 yearly general reading. This is your girl Mermaid Scales Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me here. This is a general reading for the Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, and or any other strong placement for the sign of Aries. This will not resonate with every Aries that watches this message, and because this reading is general, not every single message may be for you, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else who needs to hear that message. If this reading is not for you at all, Aries, I highly suggest checking out your other signs in different placements. Hi cross watchers, you're very welcome here if you're interested in Aries. Who wouldn't be? I'd like to remind Aries and cross watchers that energy is fluid, and this simply means you may feel like I'm describing a certain situation in the reading where you feel the roles are flipped or reversed, and that's completely okay. You are more than welcome to use your own discretion to flip those roles if that resonates with your specific situation the most. So Aries, I'm so excited to do this reading. This is a brand new reading for me and for you guys as well. So what I'm planning on doing for this is to channel and ask Spirit what will be happening for you this year in 2022. And this can impact probably all aspects of your life: love and romance, career and finances, spiritual evolution. I'm going to use the tarot to pull a card, one card for every 3 months, to see the general theme, the events that will be happening within those 3 months. And with the oracle cards, I'm going to ask for major themes, major situations, anything that you need to know about 2022 to help you prepare, or maybe to warn you again so you can drift away from any negativity to head towards your highest and greatest good in this life. So if you have any beings of the light that you would like to welcome into this space, specific angels, ancestors, spirit guides, deities, even passed down loved ones, you are welcome to do so now. So let's go ahead and get this reading started, Aries. I'm so excited. I will be using my sound bowl to clear and set the energy. If you are listening to this using headphones, I do suggest turning it down a little bit just for this part. I don't want your ears to hurt. So let's get this going. Alright, so let's see what is happening in 2022 for my Aries, or anyone involved with an Aries if you're just curious. Let's see. So let me first pull a card for the months of January to March. Okay, there's a lot of healing that needs to be done January to March, and a lot of you are going through some difficult things maybe as I speak. For those of you where you're like, okay, it hasn't been difficult, what are you trying to warn me of? There's a mental pattern that you guys have had certain anxieties around certain situations that are being surfaced now to finally release and heal. And luckily this is happening in the beginning of the year, because I think this is setting you up, once all these insecurities and fears and doubts are dealt with, what is going to continue to play out for you in the rest of the year. But I'll show you the cards once they're all on the table. Just wanted to start off that. All right, April to June. Ooh, yeah, exactly as I said. July to September. Wow. And then October to December. You're making a whole 180 in your life, Aries. 2022 is the year for you to overcome obstacles, to finally prepare and understand what Spirit wants to bring into your life, the good Spirit wants to welcome into your life. But there's something that needs to be settled January to March so you could be fully prepared to receive what's to come in, because let me tell you, it's amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this started. Alright guys, so January to March, we have the Nine of Swords, and it says suffering and silence. Aries, there's something you have been unhappy with for a long time. This doesn't feel anything new really, but it feels like, a certain mindset of worry you get into when something doesn't happen, when something doesn't unfold in a certain way you expect to. You start nitpicking, you start overthinking, you start wondering, you start, putting in these situations, projections that are not based in reality. But hey, we've all been there. And I'm someone that does experience anxiety, has suffered anxiety. And I feel that a lot of you guys right now, it's a buildup of tension, of stress. And I think a lot of you guys finally need to let it be known in some way. Whether it's with certain people you're interacting with every day, whether there's a circumstance in your life that finally is being hit so hard you just can't ignore anymore. You don't have to suffer in silence, Aries. You really don't. I don't know if you guys feel alone. You feel like no one's there to help you, support you. I do feel that your spirit team is coming in to say, I almost said Pisces. Some of you could have Pisces in your chart, or your Aries, Pisces, Cusper, or whatever, right? But Aries. Spirit's coming in to say that whatever it is you've been unhappy with in your life, whatever it is you have been unhappy with yourself, first of all, you're so hard on yourself and you really don't need to be. Certain judgments you pass on to yourself, and that could be a certain program we've learned to do, that when we perceive failure, we're the first to blame. We're the first to throw ourselves under the bus, to mentally judge and pick ourselves apart, that you don't need to. And I feel that Spirit's bringing this card to your attention, Aries, so you know that some of you who may have been denying it, or some of you who may know this very well, it's time to release. It's time to heal those anxieties that come up. And it's not easy. It really is not. I know it. But what helped me so much in my anxiety when I was going through the worst of it, guys, was to ask myself a few things, a few questions. With the things I worried about, were they even part of my reality? Or were they things I was holding on to from the past, or worried about the future that didn't even exist? But here I am spending so much energy exerting on things that either have not happened or happened a long time ago. Others of you, when this energy comes about, there's something we've been prolonging to do out of fear, worrying that we would make the wrong choice, our whole life would fall apart, and there's no way to fix it. And others of you, I feel you've already made that decision, right? To cut someone out, to quit a job, to separate yourself from people who are toxic. And already that mind is doubting and second guessing. I feel a lot of you need to really communicate your hurt. Whether that is to someone you trust, whether that is just journaling it, writing it down, or discussing it to Spirit during meditation, during times of prayer. I just want you to know, Aries, that maybe something hasn't happened yet, not because it wasn't meant for you, but because it's not the right timing, or there's another way to get it that you don't see yet. But this worry and these anxieties are clouding you. But this is being brought up to heal. To heal, to recognize, to address, to overcome those demons in our head and our soul, the ego that feels so in control, and anything that sets out to be out of control seeks to regain that through fear. That doesn't need to be a part of your life anymore. And a lot of you are looking to heal this. A lot of you are looking to find other ways then. If it's not through fear, that's never helped me, but has always kept me in this place of sadness, anxiety. How can I stop? Not exactly suffering per se. If it is for some of you, then that's the word, but how can I pull myself out? There's always a way to turn around, Aries. I don't know, some of you may be finding yourself in a very stressful situation January to March. And I even feel others, you feel this because someone else projected that onto you because you made the right choice for yourself, and then here it goes. Oh God, are they right? Aries, I want you to know, if you've been going through this, or if you find yourself to be in this energy at the beginning of the year, maybe even some of you may be facing rejection, you don't even see what's about to come in. And don't let yourself get beaten up, brought down, sad, thinking it's never going to happen for you, because that's what's going to confine you and make you stay in this place of unhappiness. This year is for you to break free out of this, Aries. And once you do, that's when everything comes in. So, April to June, the Ace of Pentacles. So, Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. I mean, this is going to be something that pulls you out of the situation financially. Some of you are going through financial troubles, security issues. Maybe some of you are behind in debt. Some of you have been looking for a job and you haven't found the right job you've been happy with. Maybe some of you in the beginning of the year are moving out, can't find a place. All right, April to June, you're going to be gifted with something, Aries. And this feels, I'm hearing, was divinely orchestrated. This is that helping hand. This is that answer that will not only just be a realization like the Ace of Swords, or inspiration like the Ace of Wands. This is going to help you in the 3D, tangibly. A pay raise, a job offer, a contract. But this is like a partnership. And if it's not so much with someone else in the 3D, it's a partnership with Spirit. Here's your chance. Here's the opportunity. And maybe even some of you are so worried about it not coming in now, it'll come in April to June. But I feel, even for me as a reader, that the Ace of Pentacles can serve as a blockage being removed. Why do I say that? Because in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith version of the tarot, we see this, hand that's over this, what it looks like to be like a garden, and you see like a gate open. It's not closed, or like an archway you can walk right through, right? And it's some sort of help or some sort of thing that happens in your life that will remove anything that wasn't being shown to you through your 5 senses, right? Through what you could taste, touch, smell, hear, sense, tangibility, right? This is going to remove that blockage that you may have been going through or suffering with the 9 of Swords, to let you realize when you start to address that anxiety, when you start to address those fears, and really start to plant those seeds in thinking a new way, believing a new way, having trust in yourself that the good will come, that's when Spirit will reward you. This feels career, this feels financial, I gotta say. For some of you, it could be a commitment, a partnership, a business partner, maybe even romantic interest that wants to offer you a long-term relationship where you were so worried about it in the beginning, right, of it falling through. But I feel, Aries, from April to June, you're planting those seeds with this new opportunity given to you. It could just even mean more time that you're going to work, or more availability to you to put yourself out there, to show what you have and value you have. Those are the seeds being planted. From July to September, we have the Hierophant. So Taurus energy, Capricorn energy, doesn't have to mean anything to you guys. But what I feel here is what you're learning. With this new awakening, new understanding of what you can achieve when you're outside of that fear-based mindset that we all have as human beings. We have that need for survival that is given to us as being humans on this earth. The school of earth, as a lot of spiritualists like to say. It's the hardest school to go through. I think a lot of you are seeking out maybe even that help from, counselors, from spiritual people like me. Maybe you're becoming this yourself, someone who can help because you know what the dark you've been through, you know what that's like, right? But I think a lot of you, I feel, may be signing up for certain classes. You may be meeting a mentor from July to September who will be showing you a whole new way that you never saw before because you weren't raised with this awareness, this consciousness. Or even a lot of you are tapping into what has always existed inside you, this very wise being, your higher self, man, has been through it. And through every downfall, there's been something to gain. There's been some wisdom to achieve. And I feel a lot of you are going to be that example of those people who are the underdogs. Of those people who, didn't feel like they could make it out. Who always felt trapped in a certain situation, in a certain mindset. But you fought to get here. And here you are showing everyone you absolutely can do it if you put your heart and trust in yourself to do so. So whether you're going to be this person that has influence over others or you're going to seek out that influence, look up certain beliefs, read some books, find people that you really resonate with that inspire you. But you are going to have some sort of impact, Aries, or this person will have impact in your life. And again, for those of you that this is love and romance, this could lead to a marriage, okay? Just for some, not all. But I really do feel for most of you, this is just the understanding of how powerful you really are, how great you really are, and how much you can impact this earth. But a lot of you are learning during this period. Learning again, you may be triggered, but you're responding differently. You're not responding back in the way of the Nine of Swords. You've outgrown that. But there may be some trials where it's seeing how the universe is seeing, let's see if Aries has learned. And it's not going to be anything major. There's no tower, there's no, Five of Swords here, but it's kind of like, let's see how much Aries has gained through this lesson, through this surrender, through this trust. And do you know how you're ending the year? The Sun card, the happiest card in the deck. Enlightenment, reward, success. I mean, you guys are ending the year in a whole different way than you started out. I think a lot of you guys are going to become enlightened. You're awakening. There's this consciousness that will be arising from within you of what you can achieve, what you can do. I mean, a lot of you may even get some sort of public recognition, public reward, success. People will be drawn into, your glow is amazing, your shine, your energy. Look where you came from and where you're ending up, right? I feel this year is a huge awakening for you guys. And it starts small, but it ends with a big bang. And I feel that this awakening you're going through is going to change the way you respond to life forever. No longer will you be in victim mentality. No longer will you be beating yourself up for things that are completely out of your control. But now you accept. And that doesn't mean allowing bad behavior. That doesn't mean allowing things that make you unhappy. But it means no longer trying to fix something you can't fix. No longer trying to make others happy when they're not going to be happy, no matter what you do. But you are living with this acceptance and gratitude for life, for the ups and the downs, what you can learn, what you can achieve, what you can succeed, despite it all. Because you're still standing, you still get up every day knowing that today's a blessing and I can make the best of it. But something here big, a milestone even I'm hearing for some of you, an achievement and success is happening for you guys from October to December. So even if some of you guys are getting a new job, that I feel in April to June, like your boss, your manager knows your potential, is, preparing you for certain positions, for certain roles, and then you may just get the highest role or the role you've been looking for, wanting at the end of the year. But you're going to end this year completely happy. Very, very grateful for the year 2022, for pulling you out of this hole and bringing you back into the light again. It's like the light at the end of the tunnel, Aries. Amazing. So let's get into the oracle cards now. See what the major themes will be throughout the year. And now that all the cards are out, I'll try to assign these major themes and roles to the energies I see within the cards for, you know, what time frame of the year this will happen. So tell me about 2022 for my Aries. Ooh, dragonfly. Beautiful. Some of you may have resonance with the dragonfly, be seeing dragonflies. It says, have confidence during this time of great joy, renewal, and connection to spirit. Wow. You know, yeah, in the beginning of the year, a lot of you may have been going or are going through dark night of the soul. You know, just not having as much faith in the universe, or not getting the universe's messages, not seeing why everything folded out. But Aries, again, before spirit can come through fully for you to receive, you have to let go of the ego-based fear. Those messages will not come through. So for me as a reader, when I'm stressed, I'll never pull cards for myself if I am panicking, freaked out, anxious. The crown's not open. So, you know, I wait for that energy to fade. I wait for when I'm more in peace, and then I'll pull cards. And I feel that, you know, this isn't to make you, you know, punish you for having very human feelings. But I think it's to say, okay, Aries, you know, you've lived with this anxiety, this doubt, this stress for long enough. We want to bring a connection to you. Are you willing to see this energy that's existing in your life, whether it's coming from within or something outside of you? And is that something you can change or want to change? Because when you admit that there's certain characteristics, traits, patterns that you see in others, or even if you're brave enough to see within yourself that you want to heal and work on, spirit will be there. Spirit will be there. So a lot of you may even be doing shadow work with suffering and silence. You know what's interesting? I just realized this too, is that you see in this card on this mountain, she's looking at the sun coming up, and look how you end it with the sun, right? All is not lost if you've lost something, if you just went through a major disappointment. Heal it, release it. But Dragonfly's here to say magic is coming in, Aries. The renewal, the joy is coming in, and this is only temporary if you're going through it right now, or if you find yourself to be going through it, you know, during January to the end of March. It's to heal, it's to recognize, it's to address, and then the magic comes in. But they want to give you something that's in the highest alignment of yourself. And if you are going to receive it in a scared vibration, fear-based vibration, it's not going to be what the potential of it can be, the best that you do deserve. Let's keep going. And have confidence that whatever you're going through, again, I'll repeat it because it needs to be said, it needs to be fully understood, is only temporary. It may not seem like it right now. It may seem like, oh my God, this is never going to end. That is just the fear. Tell me more. Ooh, yeah. So finding sanctuary. Beautiful. Okay. And on that card it says opening to your spiritual source. Wow. Yeah, you know what? This feels like what I went through in 2018. One thing after another, you know, just came up in my life that I thought was 100% secure, 100% stable, never would be taken from me was. That's when I went into my greatest awakening ever, okay? And I feel a lot of you, and maybe this suffering and silence is just the aftermath, the fallout of the disappointments that happened in 2021. But Aries, you're reconnecting with your faith. You're reconnecting with your flame, your fire inside of you that never gives up. I mean, hello, you're Aries. You fight. Even if it's with every ounce of your being, even when you get tired, you give yourself that rest and then you get back up again. And opening to your spiritual source, a lot of you are getting back into tuning into your higher self. That thirst for wanting more, wanting that connection again, wanting that faith. A lot of you may like find like a temple or a community or a church or whatever label it is, that a support system that is going to start making you heal from within. I don't know, like maybe there's some sort of group of friends that you're going to find sanctuary in. But I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist. I'm not licensed to give any sort of psychological advice. But I would say for those of you who are depressed, anxious, in certain ways that are concerning, please reach out for help. You will find help. You will. Okay? But I believe that this event that happened or is happening in January to March is not meant to destroy you. At the quite opposite, it's meant to build you back up again. It's meant to reawaken to the essence that is inside of you, that's waiting to shine about, that's waiting to be discovered. It's that energy of picking yourself back up again when you were pushed down over and over. Spirit is seeing you, Aries. Spirit says that whatever it is, that suffering in silence energy, is something that had to happen so you could realize that you deserve more than being complacent or silent in something that you're not happy with. It's meant to awaken you and enlighten you to the new that can come into what you can achieve and make happen. Wow. And you're finding that through others, through like-minded people. Maybe you're not around people who you feel you vibe with. So find your own community, build your own community online, finding other groups where you can just meet new people that will understand you, get you, maybe in the workspace. Maybe they're just jealous. I don't know. But you're finding your sanctuary. You're reawakening to your spirituality once again, I'm hearing. And this is going to take you down the road of enlightenment, where you're going to be that example, where you're going to be that sanctuary to other people. A lot of you are light workers, and it's a hard path with being a light worker. But these challenges we go through to ascend to our point of vibration where we can help others, it's priceless. Because not only does it help ourselves, but we affect the whole community around us. I mean, you have the ability to be very, very impactful in many people's lives. Maybe some of you are a teacher, a social worker, in some sort of way, and it's like almost as if no matter what you do, there's always someone else who doesn't get helped, someone else who doesn't get saved. But I think, Aries, you're understanding your job isn't to save the entire world. It's to uplift what you can, to heal within so you can heal without. All right, let's keep going. Tell me more. Angel of Creativity. Interesting, number 23. So yeah, Aries, I feel you have something to show the world. You really do. Once you discover that magic, that essence, that spiritual source you tap into, and it's something that you can influence in this world through your work, through your creativity, through your passion. So maybe in the beginning, you're not getting that recognition, you're not getting those offers, and it's making you question your skill. Nope, not at all. You have skill, you have talent. And I think, it sounds cliche, but it's very, very true. As a person who is artistic myself, through those darkest places, we actually create some of the most profound works. When we transmute that energy of disappointment, sadness, regret, guilt that we've experienced, and we transmute it into a work of art, people can relate to it. People feel it. People say, hey, you know what? That's me. What Aries went through, what Aries is showing in their work, I feel drawn to it. Aries is a source of healing for me. Aries And what they do is powerful, inspiring, and I can do the same. So a lot of you through this awakening are tapping into your creativity, are tapping into your talents that maybe you brushed off, and that's what's making you suffer, because it is a part of your life goal. It is a part of your life plan. But your work is impactful, will be impactful in 2022. Don't doubt it at all. Your angels want to guide you into getting back into your creative side, back into your work, because I do think it is meant to be shared with the world, especially with the Hierophant and the Sun. You may be getting that recognition at the end of the year you didn't get in the beginning. But there's a part that had to awaken. There is a part that had to understand and tap into the magic that always existed in you, but was being silenced by the suffering, from the disappointment, from the shame. That's clearing out. And through your work and through your creativity, I feel for a lot of you that can actually be achieved. And some of you may be starting small, taking painting classes, learning how to create music, writing, journaling. It's all going to make a difference, I promise. All right. So let's see what Ascended Master, Spirit of Light, deity would like to come through for you to give you a message right now about 2022. This could be a deity that you've been working with, or if you haven't, they're reaching out to you now as their opportunity. So let's see. What do you want to tell Aries about 2022? Wow. Lady Venus is here. Venus, Aphrodite, whatever you want to call it. Again, creative energy, self-love energy. But what it says is downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. Wow, yeah. Through the dark could you get to the light, or had to get to the light. You guys, your awakening is big, okay? Very spiritual. But once it evolves and once it fully awakens, that's where it's going to show outside in your 3D. But you're getting certain downloads, certain insights that seem to come out of nowhere, but are very much from your spiritual team, very much from the astral realm, from heaven, being sent your way, Aries. And it's through, some of you could be clairaudient, hearing certain messages, and it's not like you hear it, right? It's hard to explain unless you're psychic or medium yourself, but it's just like that inner voice is becoming louder when you silence the fear. That's what this feels like. And with Lady Venus here, it's about bringing beauty back into your world, or seeing the beauty within yourself. Understanding that life doesn't have to be hard, difficult, defeating. And that even now more than ever, your spiritual team's trying to lead you back to that sanctuary, back to that source of creativity and to that magic, to remind you of how beautiful life can be. You are really, your crown chakra all year is going to be vibrating. And you're going to sense it, you're going to feel it. And, especially for those who deal with anxiety, if it feels overwhelming, I during my first awakening, my goodness, I thought I was going crazy. And I wasn't, right? It was just so new to me, these visions, this intuition, these messages, the numbers, right? Know that this is all spirit guiding you. But you are also interpreting these messages for yourself. There's a new side to you that you're tapping into, awakening to, or reconnecting with. That is going to heal, and that is going to let you see the potential, the opportunity, the light that may be blinding you, or that you can't really see right now because of the circumstance you may find yourself in the beginning of the year. But Spirit is sending these messages because you're sending SOS to the universe. And this is the return. This is the receipt. Be open to every sign, every synchronicity. Look around and be aware. Take notes, even on your phone, even on a notepad, whatever it is. These insights that are coming to you are leading you the right way. Wow. I almost feel like Pleiadian energy here. Pleiades, the stars. Look up Pleiadians. You may resonate with that energy, okay? You may be a Pleiadian yourself. So let's go ahead and pull a card from this crystal deck and see what your crystal energy will be for this year. I'm also going to read the prompt in the book because it helps me understand the crystal energy. I don't know every single crystal. And I think it's written beautifully. Now, you may work with this stone. You may be introduced to the stone. You want to go buy it at a local metaphysical store, but if it is something like a diamond, a ruby, an emerald, you're like, damn, mermaid, I don't have the money to spend it on that. Just call upon its energy when you are tapping into that source, into that magic you have within that is awakening, and it will work with you through that, because it's all energy, right? Right, what crystal is coming through for my Aries in 2022? Ooh, rose quartz. Wow, inner child. Damn, okay. So rose quartz, a beautiful, I'm a big fan of rose quartz, right? This is all about healing the self, loving the self, accepting the choices you made, the circumstances you found yourself in. But inner child here is very strong to me. I wonder if some of you have been dealing with traumas that have existed since you were a child or happened when you were a child. And man, let me tell you, I understand. It's, you know, you feel like one day you're over it, you healed, you did this profound meditation, and then boom, you know, 2 months later it hits you like a rock. You know, there again, with this inner child work, I feel that there was an experience that happened in your childhood that you had to grow up very, very fast, too soon. And that inner child wasn't able to express itself, to be young, to grow up, and to have that excitement that was taken from you for some of you at a very early age. Tap into that inner child again, heal that inner child again. And maybe the suffering in silence is your inner child trying to come out and come through, so it could be happy again, because the inner child is a part of yourself. Even if it's, you know, we've outgrown it for sure, physically, the soul aspect is still a part of us. So let me go ahead and read the excerpt from the book. Oh, I turned right to it. So, crystal color, various shades of pink, related chakra, the heart. Rose quartz is well known around the world as the stone of love and compassion. Its energy is very gentle and soft, inviting us to open fully to receive its healing medicine of love. Its nurturing energy allows us to feel safe enough to surrender to our vulnerable nature. In this sacred space, we connect deeply to the essence of the inner child. Rose quartz encourages you to deeply heal any old wounds connected to inner child issues. It invites the essence of the inner child to surface for healing and transformation to occur. Crystal meaning: deepening self-love and acceptance, opens the heart, brings unconditional love, enhances compassion, gentleness, and nurturing of the soul, brings self-fulfillment and inner peace, supports those going through divorce and separation. So maybe some of you, divorce and separation is something you're going through, thinking it's coming to that, right? So, oracle reading. You have called this card into your world today to remind you it's time to reconnect with your inner child. The inner child is a reflection of the childlike feelings and emotions that we have within that have been misunderstood and wounded. Due to stress and intensity of life itself, we seem to hide these more vulnerable emotions and aspects of ourselves away so we don't get hurt. The devas or divas encourage you to reconnect to the magic and innocence of the child within and open to this aspect of yourself in your daily life. Your inner child is calling you to come out and play. When were you last spontaneous? Or did you feel the magic of life through a child's eyes? Did the things you did as a child that made you feel happy, like ride your bike or build a sandcastle? This card may also be gently guiding you to understanding that you are experiencing and feeling stems from your inner child. Old patterns, reactions, wounds, and behaviors may be playing out in your life, and you could be feeling unsafe emotionally. There may also be mother-father issues that are affecting you in your relationships. It is time to embrace your wounded child within and allow him/her to feel safe, supported by you, so that deep healing can occur. Breathe the soft, nurturing energy of rose quartz into your heart and feel it dissolve any old wounds connected to the inner child. Nurture, support, and love the child within you, as this is the key to your healing at this time. Wow, yeah. So, Aries, it's time to heal. And it's not easy healing. And it's going to be something that, you know, will require devotion, attention. But, you know, as much as that hard work is, you can also open yourself, like the book said, to doing things you haven't done in a while that made you laugh, that made you smile. And given, you know, with the current state of the world, there are some parts of the world that are in quarantine that can't go out. Find that within your home, within your space, and even more so, that will create a sanctuary within your home that has the inner child energy exist. Playing your favorite movie that you used to love watching as a kid. You know, eating the foods you used to enjoy. Splurge a little bit with some foods that were your favorite foods as a kid growing up that you stopped eating. Make time for yourself. Make time for your healing and growth, specifically through inner child traumas, fears, patterns that you learned that suppress the inner child. Because it's becoming to a point where you're suffering and you don't need to. You really don't. Wow. All right, Aries. So let's get one more card, and this will be your animal totem for the year. An animal energy that wants to come through you with the message it has for you. And whether this is an animal you've been seeing frequently, you'll start to see after this, or, you know, during those times where it does get hard, difficult, you'll remember this message that this animal is bringing forth to you. Dolphin spirit. Interesting. This and that are true. Now, this is a card that when I first got this deck, I was like, oh, what does this mean? Like, what do you mean this and that are true? So what I've come to understand about this card is that, you know, we could sit and reminisce and think about all the ways life could have been different. If we made certain decisions, certain choices, how would it all play out? How will it all turn out to be? You know, if only this, if only that type of energy. I feel a lot of you have been in that energy for too long. All right, you know, yeah, maybe some sort of failures happened, disappointments happened, but failure is something we're impacts us so much that one memory of that one thing not working out, or that one instance, you know, holds us captive. And I feel, Aries, that, you know, we could sit in this energy forever and think about how our life could have been different. If only we were grown up by different parents, or if we went into a different community, if we started off with this excellent clean slate that some people are so privileged to have, how different my life can be. But Spirit is coming through here and saying, Aries, like, you're focusing too much on, again, what doesn't exist anymore, or what hasn't happened. We could reminisce and think about this all we want, but it doesn't change what we're going through right now. It doesn't change our life in this present moment. What can change is what we choose. What can change is what we want to put forward. And I think that as difficult as some situations have been in your life, you don't need to hold that as being a part of who you are in the injured way, in the sad way, in the suffering way anymore. Yes, it's a part of your story. But how long does that have to be the main situation in your story? When can that just be a chapter that you can finally move forward from and start new chapters, new beginnings, new situations, fearlessly, knowing that Spirit has your back, which Spirit very much will so, and what you can create now to make that change happen. So Aries, again, I think with this energy is that anything can happen in life. And we can be hit with the good times, with the hard times. But what makes a difference in our happiness and our fulfillment is how we choose to respond to those instances. And I think this year is the awakening and the understanding and the enlightenment where you're going to go through the downs, you know, a lot easier. Where you don't blame yourself. You don't pick yourself apart and blame everything that's happened, but start to say, okay, what now? What can I do now moving forward to make this different, to be different, to be happier? And that's what this year in 2022 is serving for a lot of you. You're going to end out on top, Aries. Doing all this work, all this healing, it is going to reward you in big, big ways at the end of the year. Just taking the steps now, getting there, it's the hardest part. But once you take those steps, you'll make it. Awesome reading, Aries. Thank you so much for joining me here. I really hope that this reading has resonated with you in some way, has given you some sort of hope or inspiration of what's to come for 2022. If it has, please let me know. Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you, Aries, very much, and I'll see you next time. Take care, Aries.